darling. I love all these pictures, darling. I've been photos so much.
I know.
It's lovely, aren't you? You're so friendly. You're gorgeous and so soft. They love it, don't they, when there's something new?
Do you get any visiting pussycats?
Very rarely.
Oh.
I wish I did. You know, dog's too much for me to
Yeah,
handle.
you could
But
do
they
with a
can't. They look
kitten.
after themselves, don't they? I want a visiting one
Oh, I
that comes for a drink of milk and then
Oh, I see.
comes and goes and then will sit on my knee when I want it to and go away when I want it to. Yeah.
Look at your jewellery corner. Very nice.
Oh, I'm trying to redo all my jewellery actually. They're all out there because I'm taking them to pieces and I make all my own.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, nice.
So seeing
John Dixon.
John Dixon, yeah. I mean, I used to dance with him a lot, and I always could remember that I loved dancing with him, but couldn't remember quite why. Anyway, he came straight away and asked me to dance,
Oh, that's nice.
and I really remembered what he did. He would dance perfectly as if he was the most perfect dancer in the world for a few seconds. Then he'd go mad. But he would go mad, but I always felt safe.
Yeah.
He had such good balance and such good movement, even though he was doing something just completely,
Mental.
yeah, exactly. So that was that. And then the new man, wasn't that great to dance with him.
Man.
Came with the lady.
Dark.
Yes. And I watched him dance and I thought, oh yes, please. Yes, please. Did you have a dance with him?
I did, yeah.
Lovely leader.
Very nice.
Very, very nice to dance with. That
So
was
you
really
had a good time.
So I really enjoyed those two dances.
And then you even got up for the last song, the
with
disco
with
tango.
Alan. Just
Yeah.
with Alan, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
You
was
had a lot of energy last Friday.
Oh, I don't know about that, darling. I mean, 2 tracks and I have to sit down. Whereas when I think about what, I used to do the whole afternoon and the whole night, and all of the big things that we did, and never sit down. I mean, every dance, I think it was terrible if I was sitting down.
Really?
Dancing of any sort is just so good, really, isn't it? I think I probably told you last time that my mama was a dancer.
Yeah, you said Hair and your stepdad were
they used to go into competitions. Yeah.
What inspired you to start learning tango?
Tango. Wow. When I realised that there was an actual tango, Argentine tango, as opposed to ballroom tango, I thought that sounds really interesting. And I was just so fortunate that there was a class starting in Tornes.
When did you come across it? Like how? When?
Well, for me it would be 24 years ago, when I was 69. I don't know how I fathomed out that there was a class in Totnes, but I did find out that Ruth was doing a class. And I think I did 1 term with her and I thought, yeah, that was nice, but it was all women that came to the class. And then the next time was probably a year later, and I was walking up Totnes High Street and I could see 2 people at the top of the high street dancing together to tango music, or music that was vaguely familiar to me by then. And it was Ruth and Fernando just showing off there up at the top of Totnes High Street. And I thought, oh, I did a bit of that last year, didn't I? I think I'll go back to that again. And then seeing how it changed, there became more men. Gradually, that was the big difference, is that it was largely women and a few men.
So you started 24 years ago and it was mainly women?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. But gradually, and also, the main difference really was that all the men would dance with all the women and their age didn't matter. And that was the big difference I noticed from any other dancers that I'd explored. Made a huge difference. And the music was different, unfamiliar to me, but fitted in with my body image, how I wanted to move my body. And so I think that the music, although I had to become accustomed to it. And the other thing I noticed was the difference in what they did for a living. I could dance with, I can certainly remember dancing with a window cleaner, and the next dance after that was the brain surgeon. And that is what really was tremendously striking. It really had nothing to do with age or class or anything like that.
How much money you had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was what really appealed to me, is that all-encompassing thing. Yeah. Which, and of course, realizing that you could just do a very, very small amount of tango, only know a few steps, and you could enjoy it just as much. Those simple, easy things became more and more intriguing when you realized that you were putting it to the themes of the music, and the flow of the music, which was different. And as you became more familiar with the music, you knew what was going to come next, and you were thinking,
Did you get addicted to tango music?
Yeah. And really what I've noticed is that there's a big difference, and that it's rare to hear that lovely old music. And to me, I just want to hear Pugliese and all of those old ones, and realise that I'm not familiar with the new music, and it doesn't speak to my body in the same way as the old music does. But there you go.
So what is tango to you? Is it like a gift, or what does it
Yeah,
do?
I think that that's a wonderful word to use, because I tried, in my middle years, I tried a lot of things, and as my life had changed, when I'd obviously been married, was having kids, my social life was different. You just went to parties and everybody was jigging about and doing whatever it was. So my form of dancing had changed through the years, even though I started off as a teenager with very straightforward waltz tango.
You did ballroom as a teenager?
All of us did.
Yeah.
We were all, we're talking about wartime.
Yeah.
And then just after the war, when I got into my early teens, maybe age 13 or 14, we all, the boys and the girls, all went to the parish hall and danced, and we did the waltz and the foxtrot and the quick step and the tango. That was the height of the evening, was doing the tango.
Strange that this doesn't happen anymore, isn't it? So
it is a great shame, and it was all the boys. That's where the boys went to meet the girls.
And so, because ballroom is a couple dance as well.
Yeah, of course.
But it's very different to tango, the way it feels.
Yeah, very different. And the ballroom tango is very different to Argentine tango. The hold is different for a start.
So when you dance Argentine tango, what does it do for you?
Oh, it's the bit that makes the bloods, you hear the music and you think, yes. And the whole of the body goes, come on, let me get on this floor. Please ask me. Come on, ask me. It's me, I'm dying to do this.
Yeah.
And also the thing that is really enjoyable, that I've enjoyed through the years in tango, is when there's events on like weekends, and you see people that you haven't seen since the year before, for example, and you remember, oh yes, I remember dancing with, that was so good when I danced with him, kind of thing, and please, I hope I'm going to have another dance this time. And so the DJ makes a big difference, because obviously they play what it is they like to play, they want to play. I don't know, you can tell, you're the one that knows all about DJing.
I try to please as many as I can.
Yeah, not easy, I shouldn't think,
It's
is
not,
it? Not
no.
easy. And as the music style changes, I'm sure you're more aware of those changes, whereas I'm not. You know, I still remember the bits that in some kind of way, it's a little bit like listening to other forms of music when people, for instance, are singing. Like for me, it was Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald. End of. Didn't matter who came on after that. It was, nobody was as good as Frank. And the style of music, style of singing, and all of that is, I think there must be something to do with generational stuff in there, isn't it? That the generations, as they change, you can go along with one or two changes, but then a lot of the things I hear now in music are just bizarre. Certainly, and the singing, I can't hear what anybody's saying. No.
I guess it's for me personally, I find the old tango has, the way it affects me emotionally is very different to the new style. They are the same songs, and the orchestra will interpret it in a modern way, and it just, the way it was done then makes me feel completely different than when I danced.
Absolutely. You do play sections of old stuff, and I think, yes, please let me get on the floor, please. Somebody who knows what somebody who can hear the music.
Yeah. There are amazing things about tango, the feelings it can give you, but there are also frustrating things.
Oh.
What are the most frustrating things?
Do you? And I think it's tremendous personal growth that happens with tango.
Yeah.
Very much, more than with any of the other dancers, I think. Probably because there's such a variety of people that are there.
Would you say also a variety of kind of emotions it brings up in you?
Yes.
And you have to deal with
it. Oh yeah, like rejection.
Oh yeah. How do you find rejection?
Oh God, well the same as everybody. You know, doesn't really matter what age you are, or and you think, oh my God, I look at everybody. And obviously feeling other men will be asking younger women and not be asking me, because there's obviously many levels to when you dance tango, aren't there? There's just simply, can be simple and straightforward, or it can have other messages that, what shall we do later, kind of thing, or do I fancy you or not? All of those kind of things, which then apply to any dance or any situation, really, don't they? But particularly the dance, because of the touch. I mean, the touch is so important, isn't it? The touch and the whole messages that you receive from that interaction it's always very unique. Whoever it is that you're dancing with is very different from the next person that you're going to dance with. The uniqueness of it, I think.
That's for sure. Tango socializing is best because people don't really drink or take drugs.
Oh yes.
And when they're so close to you,
yes,
you can really kind of get the gist of what the person is.
Yes.
underneath all the...
Yes, and that is something very important that I hadn't mentioned, but I do agree with you that.
So are there any ways, are there any kind of strategies you developed to cope with the rejection?
No.
No? You just let
I don't
yourself...
think so. That's a good question. I'd really like to think about that one a great deal more. I suppose eventually the older I get, a lot more goes over my head that I would have, you know.
Do you think the older you get, the easier it gets, or not really?
It's more different. It's different.
You just don't care. So.
It's different in as much as your whole life becomes different. So, you know, you asked me, did I enjoy the last time I was at your class? And I mean, the excitement of dancing with somebody I hadn't danced with for 10 years and somebody new, was... And then I shall think to myself, I wonder if they'll come again, and I wonder if they would ask me a second time, or whether once was enough. Thank you very much.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about, because I mean, in the practica, it doesn't really apply so much the códigos, the codes of behavior, cabeceo. But when you used to go to milongas, did you enjoy that aspect of tango, or do you think it's helpful?
What I'd found very helpful was when I used to go to Spain. I had a teacher, a tango teacher, who came from Argentina, and I used to dance with him every week, and he told me all the old traditions of how the men were on one side of the room, the women were on the other side of the room, usually with their mums or their aunties, and that's where the fans and the nods came, and I just liked listening to him telling me about that. And so we get a kind of moderated version of that, really, don't we? Kind of just, if we get to know more people, we get to know who we will enjoy dancing with, and we look in that direction, and are they looking or aren't they? And if they are, there's a little nod, isn't there? And that's enough, and they walk across the room, and that's it. They have to walk across the room to me now. I can't get up unless they do to lift me up. And then it depends on what music comes on.
So what happens if somebody comes up and you don't want to dance with them, and they
I would have been looking away anyway. Oh yeah.
But if they come and ask you verbally, and you don't want to dance,
so I don't.
Do you just send them away?
It's become easier the older I've got.
You just send them away.
I send them away anyway. We get used to knowing who we can dance with and enjoy dancing with, and who we'll just be kind of suffering with. And I suppose also it depends on what you can gather from where the person is within their own dancing, and whether they hear the music the same as you hear the music. I think people do hear music differently.
Yeah, I don't know how you would determine how they hear the music.
Not if you'd not danced with them. But once you've danced with them, you think,
know what to expect.
Why didn't they slow that bit down? Why didn't they vary it? Why is everything, certain levels of people's learning, you're missing out on how to vary the timing and how to listen to what the music's telling you what to do, which is why it's such a joy if you dance with somebody who hears it the same as you do, and you think, yes.
Yeah, well, you've been listening to it for 24 years.
Sorry?
You've been listening to tango for 24 years.
Yes.
Some people significantly less. Takes a while to develop the ear,
Yes.
I think.
I think you're absolutely right.
Mm.
And instead of going to a class and learning yet another step,
Mm.
it really needs to be back to the beginning and learning how to hear that different phase of the music. And I quite like it when you play something jazzy at the end, because the jazzy bit in me comes out, the jive bit in me comes out. And I prefer to jive on my own.
Okay.
Unless I'm jiving with somebody who really knows. My sister and I used to jive together in Spain. We could stop the traffic. She was a marvellous leader in jiving.
Is your sister still alive?
No, they've all gone. And as you know, having lost two big losses, this, you know, like the man, Mike, that I lived with for all of those years, and my son. You don't expect to lose people who are older. Mike was 22 years younger than me.
You outlived your son and your partner.
Yeah. All quickly, you know, within less than a year of each other, which was really
shocking.
So I think probably, you know.
Do you have any advice for people who are not just starting out, but who've been dancing a bit and finding things a bit confusing?
Well, I can make a statement which may give you an answer. I think that people can reach a stage, and I'll tell you who used to demonstrate this so well was oh God, who are the pair that come from Barcelona? Used to come
Osvaldo and Graciela.
Yes. You know how they used to give exhibitions, you know? And they showed you the stages that people go through. And there's the stage where you think you know it all. And that's it. You can't get any better than me. I'm the best in this room. Can't you see? You can see I'm the best in this room, can't you? You know, and you think, oh, okay, I'll have a dance with that person. And you think, shit. All he's doing, you know, this is an example really. All he's doing is racing round to see how quick, you know, where's the bit that goes soft and light, that goes stop, and you know, where, so that big transition between thinking you know it all and then slowly recognizing that you don't have to rush around and do it all quickly and think that that's it. And I think I see that. Yeah,
that's a great piece of advice. People feel like, in fact, when you rush, you can cover up mistakes.
That's true enough. That's true enough.
Yeah, so they just think, right, let's get through this.
Yeah, and I mean the different experience of being a follower. I've never learned to lead. I ought to have learned to lead, and I haven't. And I do appreciate the girls even more and more now who are learning to lead. They, or the ones that I'm looking at now, are beginning to hear. They already hear the difference between in the music, you know, when now's the time to go softer or slower or wait. They kind of picking that up quite quickly as I watch the girls. I mean, there's in your classes, you know, there's lots of women are leading now, aren't they?
Well, I think women get bored sitting around, so they...
I guess, yes, I think you're right. I mean, really, your class is great because you do get a good mixture of men and women, don't you?
Yeah, it's reasonably balanced. So Jill, you were married. How long did that last?
I was married twice. I'd left Sheffield, where I'd started my work. Starting work when you're 14, 15, leave school, start work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd
So
worked
you grew up in Sheffield?
Yes, that's where I was born. Went immediately to a job with a dentist making false teeth in the back with the mechanic. And then eventually I was in the surgery with the dentist. Then I left to do nursing in Cambridge, and I did almost finished my nursing training to be an SRN, and I got pregnant and had to get married. He was a jet pilot, you know, an RAF officer, jet piloting over the hospital.
That's how you met him, is it?
I met him. The hospital put a dance on, and they invited the men from the RAF camp was just outside Cambridge, and one of them was the one that I started having a sexual relationship with and got pregnant. So you married because you had to marry. You did marry in those days.
How old were you?
21.
Okay, that's pretty
So
good.
there was 22 when Paul was born. That's the one that's in America now. And
so how long were you?
And he was immediately posted to Germany. And if you were under a certain age, they didn't give you a married quarter. And so I was left in England with the baby, and he went to Germany. Met another woman who was the woman that he would have married, and asked me for a divorce. So I was with a small baby, having to go through a divorce on my own, which was, you know. And I immediately then met an army officer.
Another one.
An army. It was the uniform. My dad was in the war. He was Lancaster bombers, you know, and they had about weeks to live, which he was killed, you know, almost immediately when I was about 12, I think, when he was killed. So I married Ron, had another baby, and we had, I think we were 17 years altogether married as an army wife, which was great.
Did Ron dance?
I didn't have to work.
Did he dance?
Travelled with him. Ron's dead now, yes.
Did he dance?
Oh yeah, we both danced.
Okay.
We jived. We were the jivers.
Right.
And we were the ones that would go on till the early hours of the morning, still dancing.
So you were together for 17 years? We
were together for 17 years, and when our last posting had been locally in this area, and I think we bought a house at some stage. Then we split.
Decided to.
We were, both of us got to a stage, and he remarried and had 2 more kids, and was very happy with his new. And I just was on my own.
Did you enjoy it?
I had a decade of being alone. All my 40s.
How was that?
Mixed. Mixed. I think this is when I tried various forms of dance, including went back to ballroom, tried belly dancing, tried salsa, tried all sorts of things until eventually the day I met tango.
And so must have been quite challenging to be on your own.
Yes.
Or was it? Do you think
it was different being on my own? I didn't mind. I was working. By then I was working. I was working as an astrologer.
When did you start that then?
The astrology.
Yeah.
When I was still married to Ron, we were in Germany at the time, and it was something for me to learn while I was there. And then I started teaching it as paid. It's a proper qualification that you get. Janning's got the same qualification.
Yeah. So you started doing this before you did your therapist?
I then, at the same time, early to mid 40s, I decided I would go, and I joined what was then Marriage Guidance Council to be a volunteer. me, I was the only one that was divorced. Never forget that one. Was divorced. And that was before it was called Relate. It was called, and there was no such thing as a qualification in therapy or counselling. It didn't exist. The staff that were there at Marriage Guidance Council, we had a consultant, and the consultant was a doctor from the hospital, you know, if there was any problem that we wanted to ask questions about. And he wanted to start a sex therapy clinic. So he recruited from the ones that were working at Relate. We'd already been learning how to do counselling, and we went on a course in Exeter and learnt how to translate that into sex therapy. And so I did 22 years of sex therapy for the NHS, twice a week. We did a 3-hour session twice a week, and saw a lot of clients. And then I met Mike, and we bought a house together. We both owned houses. I'd been earning money from the astrology and from the sex therapy. And I think I was 52 when I met Mike, and he was 30. This is the one that died
recently.
And he was a chef.
You were together quite a long time.
We were together right up until 4 years ago. I've been here for 4 years, and we split when we sold the house we had, and he bought his house and I bought this one. But he still kept coming, came to me with a pile of food.
Right.
And then I went to Spain with my sister for 10 years. Just in the winter time, I was fortunate to have a job that I could be away for 3 months. I went from working, doing the sex therapy at the hospital. I then went to be they then brought in qualifications. They didn't know what to do with us. We'd already been working for 10 years, most of us. And as my boss used to say to me, what they come and do, they come and sit and look at people like you and Fred, my co-therapist for the sex therapy. They sit and watch you, and then they go away and write a course. And that's how the courses started to be. You know, the people fathomed out how it was done and wrote a course. And so there were we, a whole batch of people who were already qualified and working and got good references and no qualification, while all the rest of them, the new people, were all going on to college and learning how to do it. And we'd been doing it, you know. So they eventually had a period of 3 years where they just gave us the course. We just said, right, you're now qualified.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's because I became qualified then as a counsellor stroke therapist. I was able to get a job at the hospital as the staff counsellor. So I counselled the staff there for 3 years. And then that came to an end because of my age. I think I got to be 65 or something like that. And I think that's...
Is that when you finished?
That's when I finished working at the hospital. I just continued to work because I got another job then with the council. Counselling the people who worked for the council. You got me? And that was the paid job that you just... And there were 3 of us doing it. And that was, again, why I was still able to go away for the winter to Spain. And the other 2 took over, and then in the summer when they wanted to go on their holidays, I was taking over. You know, we swapped each other. That lasted for 15 years. The sex therapy lasted for 22 years, and then the straightforward counselling for another 15.
So would you say you lived?
And it was only COVID that brought things to a head. Yeah.
You lived a very rich life, really.
And I was teaching yoga all of this time.
Yeah, as well. You're very physical. So, would you say you were quite lucky in life?
Oh, well, that's a good question, darling.
Did you have
Is
to
it luck?
work hard to?
Is it luck or, you know, I mean, how can one say? I mean, you just did what everybody did in that generation. You know, you left school and you went to work. You know, and it never entered your head that you wouldn't work and earn some money and give your mum some money, sort of, you know, of the money. I think I earned 15 shillings a week when I started working. I bought a pair of shoes with. So I stopped work when I was 90.
Wow, that's pretty good going.
So the last 3 years, the last 3 years have been you. And how lucky I've been with Peter and Johnny. So lucky to have met Peter and Johnny. And you know, they came and saw this house with me the first time I bought it. And they peeled all the wallpaper off the hallway for me. They've been so good for me. They really have.
Yeah, they're lovely.
So good to me. Yeah.
So what's the secret then? What do you think?
I don't know. I think some people, it's a good question, darling, because some people just either stop dead or don't move on, do they? I think I've always been willing to move to the next stage, the next step, the next thing that, or if a thing wasn't going well or wasn't bringing me enough enjoyment, buzz, then I wanted to. And what I tended to do a lot was to expand whatever it was I was doing. When I was teaching astrology, of course, then I started broadcasting astrology, writing about astrology, going away and putting weekends on, you know, things like that. I just made it bigger than it was. I don't know, things just seemed like a good idea at the time, so you just did it.
Would you say you're quite good at letting go of things that no longer do it for you?
I guess you must be. I don't think anybody's. This is good for me. Nobody asks me questions usually. It's usually me asking them. I guess I must be. Yes, I guess must be. Moving on.
Great. Well, is there anything else you can think of that I've forgotten to ask you?
If I think about it, I think that I've not made friends. I know a lot of people, and have been with them for either for dancing or for counselling or whatever it is. So me and people and talking to people all the time, but I haven't really got a friend that is my, you know, I could say Janine and Peter, yes. But do you know what I mean? I haven't got a load of friends.
Not easy to make friends, is it?
No, and you know, sometimes I'm lucky to have met, you know, John, the boyfriend I've got now. I've mentioned John.
Yes. Not in this interview, but I know.
Yeah, John is. I met him. I think it must be 3 years ago now. Just along the when I went for a walk along the seafront. Sat on a bench. He came and sat next to me. Then it turned out that he knew Mike. Came from John came from across the water. And as soon as I said to John, he said, "Oh, you mean Mike?" So they knew each other. We used to come and chat to each other in my kitchen.
Great, Jill. Well, thank you very much.
I've enjoyed it, darling. Sitting here talking about myself, my God.
Well, it's great to hear it all. You're a big inspiration to many.
Well, I think it's like I said when it was my birthday, I said to them, you know, keep on dancing. Doesn't really matter what dance you do, does it?